60% of small businesses say that they do not have a documented social media strategy. Now, in this video, I'll be showing you the simple and effective way to create a social media strategy that drives real business results. All right, so I'm very much excited to be shooting this video once again, because in the first part of this 10 video series I am creating for small businesses or intending business owners on social media, I explained the fundamentals of social media marketing, and this is the part 2 where I'll be teaching you how to create an effective social media strategy or an effective business strategy for your business. All right, so you want to watch to the end so you don't miss any part of it. Once again, my name is Muna, and I am a social media manager, business coach, and I love businesses. I am very passionate in helping businesses thrive online, and I want yours to thrive too. So let's dive right in. So the first thing we're going to look into is audience identification. Now, if you do not have a book and pen with you, please bring it out, because we're going to go through some subsections in creating a winning social media strategy for your business. Okay, whatever business you want to launch on social media, you need these templates, you need this map, you need this guide. All right, so first off, like I said, audience identification. I've talked a little bit about this in the first video, but now we're going to dive real deep into it. Now, you want to be able to understand who your target audience are. All right, you want to be able to understand their age specifically. And now when you're doing this, you don't use a broad audience. You don't use the word people. You use the word person. It's just one person. Okay, that person is going to be representing the 1 million customers or target audience that you might have. Okay, but you need to just specifically see that range of audience in just one person. So when you're able to identify the age, you also want to know their interest. Okay, and then when I say interest, you want to know the kind of things they like. So to make this more practical, let's use, maybe you sell things for children. Okay, you sell school bags and lunchbox for school resumption children. Okay, things they use for school. And definitely, you know that despite the fact that you sell lunchbox and school bags for children, it's not children that are going to buy. Yes, they're the one using it, but who are your target audience? Now, without thinking too deep, you already know that the parents are your target audience. Now, we've talked about age, okay? So these parents are within what age? Now, let's say between the age of, at least people get married very young now, especially women, let's say 25 to 45, okay? So this is the age range, and they are parents, strictly parents. Whoever is not married or does not have a child is not your target audience. It's not an ideal target audience for your brand. Okay, so we have the age. Okay, gender. Now, do you want to deal with the fathers or the mother? You want to know, or both? Okay, who does the buying decision in the family, or who makes the buying decision in the family, or who goes to the market, who is in charge of buying things for the children? Now, though we know that there are some men who do this for their kids or their family, they prefer to go out and buy those things, we still can relate to the fact that majority of the category of people who do this are the women, right? So, or you might even say both. But if you want to be specific, you're targeting mothers who have children. Now, you're making your target audience specific. Okay, but you can still do both, because sometimes men too still also buy these things for their children. So, but let's just use women only. So mothers, the age 25 to 45, gender, women. Okay, then the next thing you want to also check interest. All right, so we want to target mothers who are within the age range of 25 to 45 years old, who have so and so interests. Now, what are their interests? They are interested in making sure that their children are looking, the best when they go to school. Now, you want to be able to identify their interests. So let's recap. Okay, we are dealing with someone. Have we given her a name? Okay, Mrs. John. Okay, so Mrs. John is 25 years old. She's a mom who has a daughter. All right, and then her interest is to make sure that she's interested in making sure that her daughter has all the necessity required to resume school in September. Okay, so she needs a school bag and a lunch pack, amongst other things. Now, as regards your business, we're only interested in what you can provide for Mrs. John. Okay, so now another crucial question to ask is, what is her location? Where is she located at? Because as an online business owner, you want to be specific about this. If, for instance, now I'm this particular vendor who sells this stuff, I'm currently living in Lagos, and I want to ask myself questions like, okay, can I deliver to people outside of Lagos, or can I deliver to people in other states or in other countries, or is it just in a specific areas very close to where I reside I can deliver to? Now, these are the people you want to target, okay, based on how far you can deliver to. So the location of Mrs. John, let's say she's also located in Lagos, so that's fine. I can deliver in Lagos. But if she's maybe in Abuja or Port Harcourt, or even in the UK or US, you can still decide, depends on the capability of your business at that time, if you can deliver to all those other states or countries. So now we know her age, we know her interest, we know her location. The next thing is her pain point. So you also want to know their pain points, like what are those things that they are really looking out for, or the experience they've had so far, and they feel they're not really getting what they are really looking out for. You want to be able to fill that gap, so you can do a customer research. Okay, maybe you have one or two persons around you that fit into the category of your target audience. You want to ask them, okay, so far so good, you've been getting this stuff, what has been the challenges you have faced, or something you feel that would make it easy for you to get this product? Do you get? And you can also check online, since you're dealing with online buyers. Check Facebook groups, check your competitors page. Under the comment section, get to know what people are commenting about. People will definitely complain about one or two things, so you want to know what are their pain points, what are your customers' pain points. So generally, you just have to do a market research or survey, right? Ask questions. Now, having said that, I think the next thing on our list, which is the second point, now we've talked about the audience identification, our audience identification. Now we have to move into our competitor analysis. Remember, we are on our social media strategy, right? So you have to, put all of this into you have to put all of this into different categories. At the end of the day, all of this will make up your social media strategy, your business strategy online, and with this you can drive a successful brand online. So right back into competitors analysis. Now, in competitors analysis, what you have to do there, as the word implies, is to check out for people who are already into this particular business you are venturing into, even if you are a newbie. All right, so you also want to check what's their content style, like what kind of content are they posting. Please take your time to really check everything that has to do with your competitors, their content style, the kind of content they post. Okay, you want to know the way they edit their pictures, videos, or what have you. Try to see if there's like a reoccurrence. You're not just working with one person. You're checking like 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 people that are already into the market, and look for top performance. Okay, top performers. Okay, people that are already doing well in the business. You want to follow some of them. You want to follow their content steadily. How consistent do they post? What's their posting style? Okay, what's their engagement rate? Check out even for the people that are following their pages. Check them out, their followers. See the category of people that follows their pages. Engage with their own content too. Okay, you want to go to their comment section. You also want to see the kind of comments that are there. You want to see what people are talking about. You want to see the questions people are asking. So all of these things, when you put them down, these are the things you work with to make sure that as you're stepping into the market, or even you that are already into the market, you want to see a way whereby you can come in and stand out in the market, because now you know the loopholes, you know where to come in, you know how to drive your offers, and you know the people that are waiting to receive your offers. So that's the way to do all of your competitors analysis. Do you get? when you have this data, it helps you stand out. So now we've been able to talk about our audience identification, audience identification. We talked about customer analysis, but then we moved it on to competitor analysis, right? And now we're going to talk about identifying content pillars. All right, now what is this going to help you do? Now remember, you're writing all of this down, because when you've done your research, you've put together all this data. This is what is going to help you craft your content, your social media strategy for your business online. Okay, so now we want to talk about content pillars, identifying content pillars, and there are 4 content pillars I am going to emphasize on for this video. Okay, the first one is educational, the second one is entertaining, the third one is inspirational, and the fourth one is promotional. Now at least your content should contain all of these 4. Okay, now why do we need content pillars? We want to be able to say, okay, these are the things I would be posting, these are the things I will be talking about. All right, how many percent of this kind of content should I create, and how many percent of this kind of content should I create, and how many percent of this content type should I create? Okay, that is why we need to be able to identify our content pillars. Now your content pillar is like the head of, when you talk about a pillar, something holding maybe a building or something holding some other things, right? So like for your educational content pillar, there are other things under it. For your entertaining content pillar, there are other things under it, same as the inspirational and promotional, right? So when you are able to identify these content pillars, now you want to break it down as so many other things under these pillars, right? Now for example, for your educational content pillar, you want to break it down. Okay, you want to have things like content that educates people on how to use your product or service. Okay, content about maybe terms and terminologies are related to your niche, what have you. So things that can help them know your product better or your service better. If you're into maybe catering or what have you, you can do like behind the scenes content. Okay, show them the process and all of those things. So that's part of the educational content. Now for your inspirational content, okay, entertaining, that's the second one. For your entertaining content, you want to maybe jump on trends once in a while, but still make sure you find a way to link it to your business. Don't just hop on trends or go and start dancing on TikTok and then you don't put anything that is related to your business. No, you can use trendy sound and then still put in your business, maybe product pics or something about your brand, to just make sure that it goes on with the sound, something like that. Then inspirational content, you want to have maybe like behind the scenes, no, not behind the scenes, success stories, okay, of people that maybe have gone into your kind of business, or people that have used your product or service, what the results, okay, their testimonials and all of those things. Or user generated content, that's UGC, maybe we're hearing UGC. Okay, you can get feedback from people that have used your product or service. Okay, post that. That's part of content. You used to hear everything is content, so it's a very good way to show people that, oh, this thing works. So that's that about inspirational content. So you could just come up with things that could inspire people, or success stories. And just so I put this in, try to make sure that whatever content you are putting out, you do more of storytelling. Okay, you do more of storytelling. Even if it's the behind the scene you want to use, you could use a voiceover saying something, you just put it up like a story. Okay, or even if it's a carousel you want to make, or even a graphics design, just make sure that one way or the other you're telling a story about the product or people that have used it or the service or something like that. Then the last but not the least, your promotional content. Okay, this has to do with your product features and offers. Okay, now amongst all other types of content, this promotional content is the least content you should be creating. You just need like 15% of this content, the majority should be your educational content, followed by entertaining, and then your inspirational content. Promotional content should be the least content you put out. Why? Is because people do not like to be sold to, but then if you're able to entertain them, carry them along, teach them, coach them, they would always be looking out for your offers. Okay, so but make it 15%, and make sure you put it in a way whereby it's irresistible. You create irresistible offers that they cannot say no to. So that's that about your defining your content pillars. Okay, so now you've been able to identify your audience, you've also done your competitor analysis, and also you've been able to define your content pillars. Now we want to move on to creating a content calendar. This is all part of your strategy. Okay, so creating your content calendar, you want to know what's your posting frequency. Now make sure you don't see, and this is very important, whatever posting frequency you want to use, make sure it's something that you can be consistent with. Now consistency does not mean everyday posting. Consistency does not mean posting 3 times a day or 5 times a day or 10 times a day. No. Consistency means posting at a particular time or duration consistently. Like, people get to look out for your content within this range of time. So if it's in the evening, in the morning, in the afternoon, 2 times a day, 3 times a day, you know it is something you can keep up with. That is consistency. So don't do what because somebody is doing 5 posts per day, you want to do 5 or 10 posts. No, do something that you know you can remain consistent with. Okay, so in your content calendar, you also want to be able to define your themes. Okay, when I say themes, I'm talking about your colors, your brand colors, and all of those things you're going to use while creating your content, right? So when you're able to define your themes, set them up. Set up your posting frequency, like how many times a day, how many times in a week, okay, you want to post. And also you want to say the time, okay, the duration, what time, and also what type of content, carousels, video. When you've been able to say, okay, this is the time you want to post, you also need to categorize your content based on, okay, what kind of content you want to post based on what we've already talked about in your content pillars. Okay, you want to say, okay, how do I express this content? Do I want to do more videos? Do I want to do graphics design? Do I want to do carousels? Okay, how do I want to express this particular kind of content? Product pictures, how do I take photos and videos of my products? If it's service based, okay, do I want to hop on video content creation and all of that? Now this would help you create your content calendar. And also we've already talked about choosing platforms, right, in the first video. Okay, that's the part 1 of this series, choosing platforms. So I believe by now you've already been able to identify, okay, this is the platform I want to start with. Okay, if it's Instagram or X or Facebook or TikTok. So depends on the platform, depends on the kind of content you are going to be, creating for your business. So this would also determine what you are going to create as content and also put in your content calendar. After you've done this, you also want to see, okay, how can I batch create this content, right? And how do I automate it? You can use an app like Buffer to schedule this content when you create them in batch, and it can just publish on your social media platforms on its own. So for batch content creation, I think the best thing to do is, since you already have your content pillars, you want to generate as much content as you can. If you're dealing with text-based content, maybe just carousels or graphics design, you could use ChatGPT to generate content. Or even if it's video content, now then you have to shoot the videos in batch, okay? Like you could shoot like 10 videos at a go and then edit them and just schedule them on Buffer. I prefer Buffer. That's the one I have used. There are other scheduling tools or apps. You can check them online, okay? But I use Buffer personally. So you could use it to schedule on multiple platforms, all right? So that's that about creating your content calendar. Then the next thing we want to go back into, I say go back because in the first video, we've already talked about that, which is setting smart goals. Now, you want to be able to set smart goals for your online business. You remember we talked about specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time bound. Okay, So if you have a goal for your online business, even as based on the engagement, okay, from now to now, you want to be able to post so frequent that you begin to get so and so number of engagement on your post. You want to be able to reach so and so followings from now to this time. Okay, you want to be able to take track of the little improvements, successes, and wins that you're already getting in your social media marketing, right? So set goals that are realistic, set weekly goals, set monthly goals. From now to the next 7 days, I want to hit so and so followings. From now to the next 7 days, or from now till 30 days, I want to be able to close like 5 clients, or I want to make like 20 sales or 10 sales, depends, okay, on the business you are into. This would help motivate you into working harder in your business and also into doing better, right? And don't forget, as you go on with all of this, try to look back, okay, and still reflect on everything you have written down so far to be sure that you are still in track. All right, so that's the best way to go about your social media strategy. With this, you are going to be so good with what you're doing, and you'll be right on track. All right, so the next thing I want you to be mindful about is your KPI, your key performance indicator. Now, there are things in your business that you could double down on that will give you massive results. Now, when you are going about your marketing, there are things that you might be able to identify to say, oh, this thing gives me more results. When I do this, I get more feedback. Okay, now, so these are the things you have observed so far that when you do, you get massive feedback or returns on. Okay, so you want to identify those things. They're called your key performance indicator. It could be your customer service, it could be your packaging, it could be your content, it could be in any part of your marketing. You could even check your content metrics. Okay, check to see the kind of content that people tend to engage more with. Some of your content that people tend to engage more with. So those are the things you want to redo, you want to double down on. You want to say, okay, I'm going to put in more effort into this aspect, because why? It gives you a high return on investment, right? So it's that simple. So all of this put together, you are good to go. Like, you've got a sweet strategy to help you improve your online marketing, to give you a very good feel of what social media can offer. Because when you have all of this right, you wouldn't be among the marketers or business owners online that would complain of maybe no sales or no clients, right? You already have everything intact. You just need to work with your strategy and to be consistent with it, and also give room for improvement. Having said this, if at this point you really got value from this video, please kindly click on the follow button. If you know you've gotten value so far, please kindly subscribe to my channel. That's a way of support, all right? Just to say thank you, right? I believe I've been able to share 1 or 2 value, or you've been able to learn 1 or 2 things, and also share this video so that more people can see this and learn from it. And this is just the part 2 of the 10 video series that I'm creating for small business owners. The part 3, watch out for it. Thank you so much for watching, and for the part 3 of this video, we'll be talking about content creation, okay? It will be a thorough video on content creation, a masterclass. Like, you should not miss it. Whether you have any experience with content creation, you're a newbie or not, what have you, or maybe you're even a pro, you need to watch that video, because you are going to learn 1 or 2 things that can help improve your content. Okay, so turn on your notifications so you don't miss it, and also subscribe to the channel like I've already said, and we are good to go. Please, I want to see your feedback in the comment section. Just let me know which part resonates more with you, and stay blessed.